Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Wise Kracks. We got a big show in store for you today. And of course, we've got Bill Krackomberger with us. There would be no Wise Kracks without Bill Krackomberger.
Yeah. Hey, a traveling Bill Krackomberger. But, I set up here last minute. John, before the show started, we were talking about some of my most successful shows that I have done that I feel are the spontaneous ones, just like I've done with you in the past. So this is one of those shows where I am not prepared for anything. And I got to tell you something, though. They are usually the ones that people get the most interest out of because they're just off the cuff and we just talk about anything. So you're going to get the true answer. So, yeah, let's roll, man.
Speaking of off the cuff, we had an off the cuff trip last week. You called me like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, maybe. And you go, Hey, can you go to Arizona? You want to go to Arizona with me? I go, yeah, when? And you're like, tonight?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll do that, John. It's advantage gambling. Now, as you've seen, you sat there with me and I'm thinking, I have to have someone, you have to have someone you trust in Las Vegas. And let me just tell you, Las Vegas is a tough town to find someone to trust. Lots of gamblers and gambling mentality. And you have to have someone that'll follow my direction. And, you have to find someone who knows how to gamble a little bit. Everyone thinks they know how to gamble, but video poker, we went for a video poker promotion. So they had to find someone that actually did that knows how to play a little bit of video poker, just a basic strategy. Even if you don't play video poker, if you play poker and and just sit next to me and we'll do it together. And yeah, you were the one, thankfully you're the only guys I think of that when it comes to Vegas, I trust. And I know that you don't have a full-time job that you have to punch a clock, and you have a great girl that lets you go wherever you want. And, you're going to make money. It was real simple. John, your airfare is free. Your food's free. We're going to go to a great steakhouse. You're going to be gone for less than 24 hours, and you got a chance to make thousands of dollars.
So let's talk about that. So, because that actually surprised me, because normally if I get the Krackomberger call, I'm thinking it is sportsbook related. And this particular trip, I don't even think there are sports books in Arizona, right? There's no sports books in those casinos.
Not yet. They're getting them. They were supposed to have them already. It's a political battle there. You have a lot of the Native Americans and there's percentages being worked out. And I'm told from the top people there, because originally I was going to do this trip to do both a casino consulting position for the sports book, which I did meet with the person in charge, and I had about half hour with him. He walked me around. He showed me the room that they're going to have for sports betting. It's unbelievable the space they're having in this casino that they're going to have, and they're booking it in-house. They are powered by another sports book, but they're booking the bets in-house. They're not just getting a fee at the end if they win or anything. So I'm going to be doing a little consultant work there, hopefully, and we're going to see what's happening there. They're ready for it. They're going to have it hopefully by the end of the summer. They want to have it by the NFL. Like I said, they wanted to have it at the end of February, but it got caught up with some kind of, let me just be blunt, some BS political stuff. So there's people arguing about the money and whatever it may be. And there's other hurdles too. That's just one of them. But yeah, so they're going to have sports betting sooner or later. And I also got this video poker deal to go down there. And they give me a lot of money to go down there, but I'm going to give them a lot of action too. I'm going to put 150,000 through the machine, which it sounds like so much more than it is, 150,000. It's really not, because, John and I were both playing $25 a hand. The max bet in Arizona, actually, very interesting. The maximum wager, I didn't tell you this, John, the maximum wager you can wager is $35 on any machine. So that's the maximum bet. Yes, you can go to Vegas and I think
so there's no $100 slots.
No. And even if they have I think the highest one is $5, and you can put 5 coins. There's some of the, believe it or not, some of the multi-line, they call them penny machines, but in high limit, you can actually, instead of doing a penny, you can do 5 cents or 10 cents. There is a feature where you can go up to the $35. But as far as video poker, I think the most you can go is actually $30. The machines are set to there. That's a $2 3 play, $10 per line, triple play. That's the most you can go to. What Jon and I were playing for a little more variance, it's better off you playing a 5-play machine, 5 lines, 5 different games, than playing a single line, of course, but also playing that triple play $2 game. You get a little more variance, which means a lot more hands you see, and you can kind of lower down the house edge on those games. But in our situation, we were playing where we got thousands and thousands of dollars in free play and some of the best payoff video poker in the entire world. Just use a common sense, common thing that some gamblers may know. It's called 9-6 jacks. Now, what that means is the payout on the 1 coin payout is 9 for a full house and 6 for a flush. It's jacks or better. The 2 pair pays 2 to 1. Typically a boring game for many people. However, it's a 99.5, I'll just round it, 99.5 payback game. That is what it is. I was playing a different game. Jon was playing the jacks or better because it's kind of more introductory game, and he knew how to play it for the most part. I was playing a Deuces Wild game, which was 99.72 return. Then I was actually playing an Aces bonus game that is 99 point, almost, I think it's 99.92 percentage. Very hard strategy though. And you strap yourself in. When you're playing these bonus games on the Aces, which everyone likes, the most popular game is double bonus. Everyone knows it. I would be willing to say almost nobody knows how to play it correctly.
Why
there's
is
so
that?
many exceptions. Oh, there's so many exception cards, and people just automatically just go for the aces at all times, and they think they know what they're doing. Like there's games like with aces that you get a full house, 3 aces over a pair of deuces, and they hold the whole thing. It's not right. You got to hold the whole, just the aces you hold. There's other games on there. There was another bonus aces game on there. It's a very good game that you actually hold because the 4 aces with a 2, 3, or 4 kicker, you get the same thing for a royal flush. You get 4,000 for both of them. So that game, very difficult strategy. In other words, if you get dealt ace, ace, ace with a 2, 3, or 4, you actually hold that kicker and just take 1 card to get another ace because you're getting the jackpot. Also, if the same thing, if you get dealt 3 deuces, 3s, or 4s with an ace or a 2 or a 3 or 4, whatever the opposite cards. In other words, if you have 3 2s and a 4 and a king, you actually hold the 3 2s and the 4 because you get 2,000 coins if you hit that. So it's a 1 card draw. So
yeah,
it gets really confusing, and people love that the aces games all the time. But I'll tell you right now, the most important thing to know is you only get paid 1-to-1 on 2 pair. So it's going to eat up your bankroll more than a 9-6 jacks or more than a bonus poker. There's an 8-5 bonus poker game. It's 99.2. Let's just call it that. So it's interesting. You have to know the strategies going into these games, Jon.
That was interesting. That 2-to-1 thing on the 2 pair that you pointed out to me, I never realized how important that was until playing. Because what amazed me was how long the money that we put into my machine lasted. Like it lasted a really long time.
Yeah, it did. The first 500 that I gave you, obviously I financed the whole deal, by the way, the whole trip. But the first 500 lasted a while. But Jon, did you realize the second day we played, or was it the night? Well, we played a lot of video poker.
Nighttime.
We played a 4-hour. At the beginning, we played 4 hours. Went to dinner. Took about an hour and a half break. Took a dinner break. Then we came back at night and played another 3-4 hours.
I didn't even realize we played 4 hours before dinner.
Yeah.
Did we really?
Oh, yeah.
That went quick.
If you knew the coin in, it's unbelievable. I put 160,000 coin through the machine. And again, if it's a 99.72 game, with a 0.28 percentage of house edge, it's not really hard to imagine doing that. You're putting through that kind of money, but because it's only a fraction of 1%, you're really not supposed to lose a lot of money. But again, you have to hit a royal. That's the key, or hitting the jackpot, because that's up to 5% of the payout. So anyway, we had we had a huge swing, by the way.
Yeah. So you just sparked a nerve in me, because you said you have to hit a royal.
You have to.
We came so close. Well, you did hit one, but I came so close 2 times. I got dealt 4 cards to a royal. Right.
Well, let's even take it further.
Yeah.
5-play machine. You were dealt a royal draw. What that means is 4 cards to a royal flush twice in the first 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I played the night before, 4 hours. I played with you that time. And I didn't I didn't get
all
I needed
was one. All I needed on the first time was the King of Hearts. All I needed was the King of Hearts, and I'm dealt a royal, and still have one card to come, 5 different hands.
Yeah,
right? It would be like running.
You're still a giant underdog, though. Yeah, you're a giant underdog, like 47-1. You're still a big underdog.
Sure,
though.
because there's only one card that's going to give you the royal. But what shocked me was I didn't even get a heart.
Yeah, you didn't get a flush either time.
I didn't even hit the flush.
And you're mentioning the. I was playing deuces wild. It's 4 deuces pays $1,000. Just to let you know, I hit 4 deuces 3 times. I hit a royal the night before for 4,000. I hit a royal with you. When I finally got dealt 4 to a royal. By the way, I was down as a group. You and I were down over $2,000 when I hit that royal.
Yeah.
I was down like $2,000. Finally hit. I got dealt 4 to a royal, and actually did get the Queen of Heart for the royal. But just to let you know, just to give people at home an idea too. So I hit a royal flush for 4,000 the night before. I hit 4 deuces 3 times that I remember, maybe more. They're $1,000 each. I got dealt a 4 of a kind for a jackpot of $1,250 on one of the bonus games. I got, and then John, again, you've seen the 4 aces I hit right after the royal. A couple, maybe 15 minutes after the royal. I hit 4 aces with a bonus, which got me another $4,000. So I hit 4,000 3 times. I hit $1,250 once. I hit 1,000 at least 3 times. So just think about that. So now here you have 20,000 in tax tickets that I hit, and for the whole trip, we still only ended up winning $2,900. Now, John, I'm sorry to do this to you and in public in front of everybody.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I would have won a lot more if you didn't blow about $3,000 of my money. But John blew about $3,000. But that last 6, you remember you had $1,600 in your machine, and then it just, if you remember, you had 6. It was up there.
Almost at the very end. We were almost at the very end.
At the very end, you held your own there for hours.
Yeah.
Again, we put a lot of money through the machines. We gave them the play they wanted. More importantly. No, actually, one more than that, because I gave you a nice look. I gave you someone. I gave you like $700. Yeah. So I won $3,600. But however, like I said to you, hey, if we win money, if I win some money, I was going to throw you more. So you had a chance to make more money. Listen, it's real simple, John. You 8 hours of your life. You went on a 1-hour plane flight. And you made who makes $700 cash in a day?
It's incredible. And doing it that way, having a bunch of fun with your buddy. I mean, it doesn't.
By the way,
doesn't get any
better. How was that? I was shocked at the quality of the steakhouse down there.
Man, listen, I was not just the steak. I don't know if you had. Do you realize I had a lobster tail as well?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was.
I had with the steak. I had a steak and lobster. Yeah. That lobster tail was maybe one of the. Can we say where we were? Or do you not?
Yeah, you could say it. Sure,
we were at Casino del Sol.
Yes.
In Tucson, Arizona. And it was. I was blown away. I had never been there. I never even heard of it. And this place was beautiful. The hotel, it's attached to
really
a hotel,
nice.
Is gorgeous. I had a view from my window in my room of the pool. Obviously, it was too cold to be out at the pool, and we didn't even have time. But the pool there is like gorgeous. Like
it looks really nice.
I'm not kidding you. I would actually go there, like for fun. I would go there.
Yeah. Got good connections there too. First time I went, I was given an offer. I actually won $15,000. The second time I went, and probably why we got the offer we did this time, I blew $13,000. So, if you don't hit Royals, you're going to lose, especially the level I'm playing. So now, this time I won like 3,600. Yep.
Let me ask you this one last question, then we'll move on to the next item up for bid. You mentioned you gave them the play that they wanted. And so my question to you is, let's say you would have won $20,000 in the first hour. Would you quit, or are you can't. Obligated?
It's a fantastic question. The viewers really may have want to ask this question, because that's what you think right away. You have to quit. No way. I gave them a commitment to put 100,000 through the machine. I actually give them more. I put about 160 through. I give them that commitment. They gave me so much free play per day with that commitment. So I make a deal with the host there. Listen, these casinos are buying business now, especially midweek business. Wouldn't have had that deal on the weekend. That's a midweek deal. Pop down there for the day and a half, two nights, and you can probably get deal. You have to negotiate, and you have to. You can't steal their money. Steal their money is a strong word. Right. You can't just take their money and run.
You can't hit and run.
The deal is right. The deal is that I'm giving them a length of play, and you have to. They can always find the gamblers though and see what their history of play is in another casino to know that they're not BSing them. Someone just coming down there. So the answer is yep.
Yeah, sorry. That was my next question to you, which is how many, I don't want to say guys like you because there's only one you, but on a night like that, how many other players are on that same type of deal that you had during the week there?
They try to buy him in there and get him in there, but I don't think anyone was there. I think it's during right now, especially it's just a weekend casino kind of atmosphere there. We did see there was a lot of people actually in there when we were there, but it's you go down there when I fly down there, I don't know why the airport's 15 minutes away, but so the car ride to the airport, it's like Breaking Bad territory down there. It's a kind of a some spots are put it this way, just like Las Vegas is on cops. Yeah, Tucson, Arizona is on cops.
Yeah, so for sure.
If you can even show cops anymore on TV, I know.
My favorite, like that. One of my favorite shows was Live PD, and it got canceled.
Live PD got canceled.
Oh man, so upsetting. Yep. All right, let's talk a little college basketball. We've got the conference tourneys are starting up, and then obviously next week we're going to do a deep dive on betting for March Madness. But anything on the horizon that's exciting you about the college tournaments?
Well, John, we had 22 winning weeks in a row, which is ridiculous. I'll probably never do that again in my life. And then I had the 2 losing weeks in a row. Rebounded right away. I like to say rebounded right away, 2-0. I think we're 4-2, so now we're 6-2 for the week, and just college basketball feeling better again. It's so tough to beat college basketball in late February, early March, because of a lot of these guys are looking forward to the even the conference tournaments, but more the big dance and getting in. So, and this year is very special too, with so many different things, the fans, the COVID, games being canceled. I mean, every day. I bet a game yesterday, and it was an hour later they took it off the board. It was canceled. Ohio University versus Kent State. Yeah, they canceled the game right away. So
when they canceled that game, do they hold your money for it to be rebooked, or they automatically?
Yeah, you get it back. You get it back instantly. Yeah. That would be a gaming violation in the brick and mortars to hold your money about anything like that. So they give you your money back. But again, looking forward to the March Madness. I love betting March Madness, by the way, the first round, second round even. But conference tournaments, they can get a little tough too. Some of these teams aren't playing for real, believe it or not. They almost don't even care about the conference tournaments. They just care about the big dance. So you have to know, and that's all following socials, following the coaches, what they're talking about, following the players, what they talk about on socials. How about this? Following even like the guys that are the doctor, team doctor or something like that. It's good to follow almost everyone. But again, I'll tell you right now, I know it's hard to do. I know it's hard people to work 9 to 5 and have full-time jobs and do this kind of stuff. So, that's why they should be, here's a shameless plug. That's why they should have my team at Crack Wins work for you. You don't have to do all this homework or research yourself.
Yeah. And when you say your team, I don't know if everyone realizes that, like, you legit have a pretty good sized team of people that work on all of this week in, week out.
Yes, absolutely. Not only I have an assistant and an accountant to keep up all the work and the accounting work, also have some pretty good handicappers and originators behind me. That's what, listen, John, I used to do all that stuff myself. Back in the 90s, even up to the 2000s, I had power rankings, charts, and most important is to know where the line's going to go. So I had indicators in the market that I'd like to say I was a big part of, knowing when the line's going to move, where it's going to move, and what's a fake and what's not a fake. So that was a big thing for me, and I made money. I won every year. However, instead of putting that 70, 80 hours a week in, I found the right team behind me. They do all the work, all the research for me, and they do it better than me, by the way, because they're these young algorithm model, type of guys, analytics. That's the new thing. And, you have to catch up. You have to really look at yourself every year, look at your success every year. Maybe not so much so during a COVID situation like we had here and a pandemic, but you have to look every year and you have to adapt. That's the word I was looking for. You have to adapt with the times. And yes, I was doing things by hand. That's not happening no more. This is more of a model-based, algorithm-based, like I said, analytics-based way of handicapping now. But that alone doesn't win, because you'll have one of these analytics guys that have a model that just feed the information, the stats and stuff into the computer. It'll spit out what the line should be. And that doesn't take the human element. That's important. I want to know about injuries. I want to know about COVID-related injuries. I want to know about fans in the stands. There's so many things that requires that human element, which a computer or a model does not take into effect. So we have that in place, thank God, and it really has shown this year, especially in college basketball. Even with the 2 bad weeks we just had, I mean, we're hitting 62% for the year. Listen, I would be happy to hit 58% for the year, and that'll make my guys a lot of money, and myself. 62%, wow, that's all I could say.
You said something a few minutes ago that is, to me, the absolute single biggest reason why people take to you the way that they do when we're out in public and people recognize you and I can see the happiness and the genuine excitement they have to meet you. And it's because of one thing you just said, which was you gave your team credit and you said they do it better than me. The fact that you are so humble all the time, you are that guy. You are what we see on this show when you're in person, and it's just, it really is great. The more time I've spent with you now, not just doing the show, but when we go on those little trips, the fact that you a lot of guys won't do that, especially guys that do what you do. I know you hate that I'm gloating on you right now, but guys that do what you do. You guys are in the same category as like an Olympic sprinter. Their ego is off the charts. It kind of almost has to go hand in hand, or with a pro boxer. They have this level of swagger. I think part of it is because that's what makes them as good as they are in their sport. And a lot of these sports betting guys, that try to do what you do, they have this chip on their shoulder that you just don't have. And I think that's why you are so successful in all aspects of your life. I'm done bragging about you. Okay.
Hey, John, it's amazing you're saying this, because I don't even think of it until I hear it from someone like yourself. And I thank you for those nice words and compliments. But I'll tell you right now, John, I can make a lot more money. And I mean a lot more money. Just having some packs of bills and and gloating a little more, maybe showing some of the reaps of the rewards of my success. And it's just not me. I remain humble. And the reason why I do is because I'm still a regular guy, man. I'm not a guy that drives around in a Bentley. I'm not a guy that goes around with packs of $100,000 and showing you bricks of bills. And let's just face it, I'm not one of those bullshitters out there, and they're out there. And I'm not going to mention no one because I'm not doing that. It's not what I do. I don't put anyone else down. I just, it's not the way I work. I don't think it's real professional. But they're out there in droves. I know what I do. I know what I've done for my customers. I know the emails and the people when I see them in person, and that's enough for me. But I'll tell you what, it is really something when I think about how much more. Listen, I could do the same thing. I could grab $200,000 in cash and put it up here right in front of you. You know what? A lot of those guys, they don't even do that. They grab $100 bills on the outside and load them with singles on the inside. I'm dead serious.
I know
load
you
them
are.
Up with singles.
Yeah.
Talk bullshit all the time. It's not me. I'm not looking to sell. Listen, when I think about a tout, I never even consider myself a tout. A tout is someone that is out there talking about themselves all the time, waving their hands in the air. One of the biggest networks in the world has been conned by one of these guys that's screaming and yelling on TV and talking like an idiot. And I guess it's fun. It's fun for the millennials and the under 30 world because they get entertained by them. They're throwing chicken parts at each other. True story.
Yeah.
Throwing chicken parts at each other, and the guys selling games. It doesn't do it for me. It's not real. This is a very serious thing for me. I'll never be part of that ridiculousness.
Yeah. Ridiculousness. That sums it up. Crack, it's my favorite time of year. Baseball is getting kicked off. Something got brought to my attention before we came on the show today that is blowing my mind right now. And I know it's just spring training, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but baseball, spring betting for baseball, there's a new mercy rule that allows managers to end an inning after a pitcher has thrown 20 pitches. This is crazy to me.
It's unbelievable. These no mercy rule. It's just it's scary. Make sure you check with your bookmaker, whoever you bet with. Make sure you check with your sports book. Know the rules of the site. Know the rules of the app. You want to know that if it's a no mercy rule, do they take that into effect and they get your money back, or does it just count when they decide we're done playing? What I'm trying to say, let me break it down in layman's terms. A sports book will say a game must go 8.5 innings or for a total, or 5.5 innings. Actually, it would be 4.5 innings for a bet in general, maybe not even a first 5 bet, but an actual bet. So check with your sports book to know these no mercy rules, which just happened. And it happened the other day. There's a big controversy about, especially the starting pitching. You don't even know, how many pitches they're going to throw before they actually get pulled from the game,
right?
Or how many pitches they're going to throw and just end the game, like you said. So, make sure you check with your book.
Crazy. And while you're checking with the book, you should also check out WSN.com, sports fans and degenerate gamblers alike, because I've got to tell you, I do it every week. If you haven't already hit up WSN.com, you guys are losing money. This is the best site for guys like Bill's on there every day. He talks about it every time on the show. They've got all the promos, bonuses, all the great strategy guys, everything you need to become a better sports bettor. Check out WSN.com today. What are your thoughts on that, Bill?
I'm on the site right now. And again, the state guides of what's going on bonus-wise, I'm sorry, I keep on beating this into everybody, is amazing. You know why? They have a bonus on here. I'm gonna give a sports book that doesn't allow me to play with them because I beat them, William Hill. I'm going to give them a plug, though, on the site. I don't understand how WSN got them to agree to this. They have a $2,021 free bet if you go through WSN. I don't see that promotion anywhere. I don't know how. I've seen a $500 promotion, but not the promotion that's on WSN. So they have some real special bonuses in place on WSN, and something that you're not going to get anywhere else. So make sure you check out WSN. Not only the great articles, the information about who's coming aboard, the new states coming up, but the bonuses, man, they're the best ones. Just checking the states. You click on the individual state, it'll show you what bonuses are available in your area on WSN.com.
Awesome. And Crack, let me ask you this. How's everything going with the Crack Wins app?
Like I said, yeah, the guys are really happy. I mean, come on, 22 weeks in a row of winners. It's impossible, like I said earlier. But yeah, and now, we had a couple of weeks where something has to return to the mean. Now, when are you going to hit 70% in college basketball? But so people are really happy right now, and we're really getting pumped up now. We're still have the golf, the NBA totals, but we're on a streak again with college basketball. It feels really good. The info's great. Last night, some really good easy wins that I love. We'll call them cigar games. Sit back, smoke a cigar, and say, "Wow, this is easy," with your feet up. So we had a couple of them last night, and now we're going to get into the conference betting, and we're going to get into the tournament betting. I said it across a couple of platforms, so I'm going to also tell the guys here, the viewers here, I love betting a lot of these dogs in college basketball when the big dance comes here. I like betting a lot of these dogs in the first half. So we'll have a couple of them. I do real good with them every year. It's basically going against some of the bigger teams, but not all the time. So that's why you got to stay tuned with the Crack Wins app and the crackwins.com website, because I've done really well on them every year. Very rare will I bet on a favorite. I actually bet a favorite last 2 seasons ago. Obviously, there was no March Madness last year. That actually won a big. I don't like betting big favorites. I don't like laying 20 points and stuff, even though. But that's why the first half. Conversely, the first half betting a lot of those dogs. So let's say you bet, I don't know, a 16-point dog. That's a 8-point in the first half dog. A lot of these teams where they may do some garbage fouling at the end. Not so much a 16-point dog, but a lot of these teams, they'll do some garbage fouls at the end, and you'll have an underdog you'll lose because of the fouls. I've seen underdogs that were 12-point underdog, 13-point, start hacking at the end when there's literally 20 seconds left. You can't get in the game, or 5 seconds left, yet they'll do it, and now you're taking 12, and now it lands on 14 or 15. So
that's so interesting. You just answered the question I was going to ask you, which is why the first half, and that makes complete sense.
First half's a pure line. It's a pure line. There's no fouling. It's just a pure line. What it should land on, the garbage points aren't going to be scored in the first half.
Those are things that I know to you, this comes second nature, and it's like an obvious strategy, but for people like me, and I almost consider myself like the next level of the average bettor, I wouldn't even have thought like that. Embarrassingly, I wouldn't have thought like that. Sure.
And you should. It depends on what kind of dog you're betting. If you're betting a 20-point dog, bet it for the game. If you're betting like a 7-point dog, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe put a little bit on the first half. It's so hard to get down for me. It's hard enough to get down in the game. First halves, I only have half the limits, so it's so hard to get down. I really don't take advantage of that enough, and I don't tell my guys to do it at Crack Wins, but it's not a bad idea. Take some first half on that type of an underdog, though. You don't like, again, the 20-point dogs, 18-point dog, no, or even a 1 or 2-point dog. But when you have a dog that's like in that range of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You could maybe look at the first half. You could steal an extra half a point, especially in the first half.
Fair enough. All right. Let's move on to we've got some great Twitter questions this week. We got a lot of them, so I want to take you through some of these. The first one comes from Little Earl 4 from Manhattan. He says, "You are one of the true good guys in the business. How do you keep from getting banned or limited at both brick and mortar and online spots? Is travel a key to your in-person play?"
Yes, traveling is a key. By the way, thank you, Little Earl. Big fan of the show, big fan of mine. Been around a long time, that guy. Again, from Manhattan. You're a knock-around guy. If you're talking sports betting from New York, you know what's up. You know the score. But I appreciate one of the true good guys in the business, too. How do I keep from getting banned or limited? Well, I'll tell you. I don't. Little Earl, I will tell you right now, I know it's going to sound unrealistic, but I'm doing this for 25 plus years professionally. I cannot begin to say how many bookmakers have thrown me out over time. When I asked my assistant, who's been with me a long time, I said, "Did we get thrown out? What do you think, 1,000?" He laughed. 1,000? 1,000? Are you kidding me? We've lost thousands of outs over the last 25 years. It's hard to believe, but people don't want anyone that's going to, take 4 points when the line closes 2.5. They don't want guys like that. But meanwhile, I'm trying to get down as much as I can. So it's hard to keep from moving the line. I do try though. I do try to bet the smaller sports books that don't really are affected at the Pinnacles, the Chris's, the Circas. They won't even notice that something moved at maybe a smaller sports book in town. But anyway, so how do I keep from doing it? Well, listen, I just try to dance through the raindrops. That's all I can tell you. Travel is a key. When I'm in Jersey, listen, I got sports books like DraftKings takes $3,000 from me on games. FanDuel takes $2,000. PointsBet takes money from me. I'm betting Tipico, which is a brand new sports book. I'm betting a lot of sports books in Jersey. Now they may only take $500 or something, but listen, think about this. I'm betting a spot like there's a brand new sports book that no one ever heard of, Tipico. They just started advertising for Super Bowl. So when I'm betting a place like that, $500, isn't it great to have a spot like that for $500 without anybody knowing? They're on no line service. No one's seeing anything. They're not seeing it move instantly. The rest of the books aren't going to move on air off Tipico, or even, I'll even go further than that, even like PointsBet. And, I love PointsBet. But PointsBet, no one's following that line in any live line service. Same thing with FanDuel. No one's seeing that stuff live. DraftKings is on Don Best, which is a live odds format. But again, I may not even bet DraftKings based on just that being on there. But then again, DraftKings really doesn't move on a lot of stuff because I try not to bet steam into anything. Once you bet steam or bet something that the line moves, trouble. So good. Thanks for the question.
Yeah. Okay. And now next question comes from Vegas T-Bone. He says it's kind of related to what we've been talking about. This made me laugh when I first read it. How many casinos does it take for Bill to get down one unit on college basketball?
It's a great question. Again, another good follower, good fan of the show, fan of mine. And he's a good guy too. I've actually met him. Vegas Tim from Colorado is his real name. Hope you don't mind me saying that, Tim. How many casinos? Well, let's see. Let's use that New Jersey one you just said. So 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, 500. I have a couple other small little nugget casino, a couple little other casinos here in New Jersey. One Golden Nugget, so I can get down 1,000 there. So I can actually get down for what it is for me on a one unit when I'm in Jersey. I can actually, believe it or not, and I kind of don't like divulging this kind of stuff, but you asked the question, I'm going to ask. I could get down 10,000 without the screen moving. And that would be a good size bet for me. And it's something that I actually do bet. Sometimes more. I actually had some bets where listen, if I could lose 14,000 like I lost 2 weeks ago on a UFC fight, I shouldn't have no problem losing out on a basketball game on something that's at least my own, my own team is behind.
Right. Okay. And then we got another one from Yo Bulldog, Yo_Bulldog. What is Crack's favorite postseason to bet on?
Yeah, if that is the same guy, I think it is Yo Bulldog. There's a guy that follows me, and he's a subscriber of mine. I think that is him. Another good loyal guy. What is the favorite postseason? Well, I'll tell you. Believe it or not, something that I would never say years earlier because it wasn't. The NFL postseason, which is probably everyone's postseason favorite, but the reason why it's mine is proposition bets, especially the playoffs, Super Bowl. I love that. So that would be the answer. Definitely the postseason in the NFL.
Okay. Now we've got one from Siegfried_Bill. He says, shouldn't the league fine the Clippers for not disclosing Kawhi Leonard's back spasms until after tip-off?
Oh, wow.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good question, Bill. This is going to happen a lot. Listen, it's the reason why I don't like betting NBA games overnight. Look what happened just here as we're filming. Last night, the Lakers were, I don't know the actual line, but I know one thing. LeBron James got announced out, and it moved like 6-7 points. By the way, I don't think any player in the NBA is worth 7 points. Listen, it's real simple. There's a professional stepping in his shoes, the backup, that could probably start on any NBA team. If you're a backup for a LeBron, or if you're a backup for, of course, like Kawhi. These are giant names also. So during COVID, especially, I'll tell you, we're in some times here where I just won't bet any NBA. The one that he's talking about, though, I think the Clippers were like a 4-point favorite at Boston. Leonard was a late scratch. And I mean late, like right before the game, right before the tip. So Boston won by 5. It's a good example why, again, I don't really like loading up on these type of games. The bottom line of the NBA is late scratches, they're occasionally going to happen. It's hard to find a team, fine them any money for protecting a player's health. So, like I said before, today's NBA with the COVID injuries, etc., the value of betting overnights really isn't there because of so many things can happen between the night before and when the game tips off. So, but thank you for the question, Bill.
Okay, and last question comes from a former guest at Sportsbook Consig. He says, will you be releasing any UFC plays for Saturday? This one might be in my wheelhouse, Bill.
Yeah, it may be because I actually don't release a lot of UFC to my guys. Very rare that I do. But I'll actually bet some of them, though, John. I'll bet some. Or I'll bet against somebody.
I have some dogs. I have some dogs for this week. There's a big UFC card this Saturday night.
Oh, really?
There's 3 different title fights. It's very rare that there's 3 title fights on one card. Sometimes 2.
Oh, wow.
One, there's always usually 1, but sometimes 2 is a big deal. 3, very rare. We've got the Israel Adesanya. He's a middleweight going up a weight class to light heavyweight, and he's fighting Jan Blachowicz. I'm botching that name, I'm sure. And so Israel is undefeated as a middleweight, and which is 185. He's going up to 205 to fight Jan. Israel is kind of a light middleweight to begin with, so there's going to be a pretty good weight discrepancy there. And Jan is plus 200, and this guy is he's Polish and he's a monster crack. Israel is undefeated, like I said. He's an incredible fighter, but I can't resist 2-1. The guy he's fighting is a legit light heavyweight. Israel's going up a weight. I'm riding on the underdog there at plus 200.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. So you got a live dog there, it sounds like. So shop your lines. You might even get more than that. But by the way, you said there's 3 title fights on the card.
Yes.
John, is that unusual to have that on the card? Very
unusual. Yeah. Usually 2, 3 is rare. The other 2 fights are Amanda Nunes. She's fighting Megan Anderson. Amanda Nunes is arguably the GOAT in terms of female fighters. This girl could probably beat some guys. She's unbelievable. And then the other fight is Aljamain Sterling is fighting Peter Yan, which is probably going to be fight of the night. Those two have a very well-rounded game, and that should be a really exciting fight as well. And then there's one other notable fight. Jake Matthews, a friend of mine, is fighting Sean Brady. Sean Brady is undefeated, and Jake Matthews is a plus 180 dog. And I really like the combo of Jake Matthews and Jan Blachowicz, a plus 180 and basically a plus 200 as a parlay. I love my parlays, so that's what I'm not betting.
You're not betting with your heart there, though, right, John?
No, I'm not.
Yours.
No, he's fighting a guy. Jake is fighting another guy that's undefeated. The guy he's fighting is 13-0. I'm a law of averages guy too. It's so hard to go 14-0 in anything. So, I want to ask you about this. So, because I know a lot of people are going to blast me saying, let's talk about the title fight, Israel on Adesanya's fight. He's also undefeated. From the way I look at it with these kind of fights, there's do I think Israel Adesanya is going to lose? He probably won't. I think he is moving up in weight class. I think, but is there a case to be made that it's the right bet to take the underdog in that fight because of the value, even if you think it's almost like Floyd Mayweather fighting, right? It's like, of course we think Floyd Mayweather is going to win no matter what, but it's the wrong bet. Am I right here?
Yeah, listen, I don't like betting favorites in any kind of hand-to-hand sports or even boxing. I don't like betting big favorites. I don't know what the odds is on this, but I won't lay 10-1 on something. I can't. And listen, I know it was the right thing to do with Floyd. I understand. Undefeated, probably 25, 30 of his fights you could bet on. But more than that probably. But of course you're laying with the favorite every time. I know it's I know, however, boxing, unlike a 10-1 favorite in other sports, boxing and maybe even these maybe even UFC. I know you actually could bet on those favorites and probably be pretty safe, but it's just not what I do. I'm a little too much conservative to do something like that. So even Amanda Nunes now I know who she is, of course, even though I don't follow UFC as close as you, but I do know that she's a great, like you said, probably the greatest female fighter. And who did she beat that she was like a 7-1 underdog, real famous female fighter that to get where she is today? Who am I thinking?
Well, she beat Ronda.
That's it. Ronda Rousey. Yeah, she beat Ronda.
That was ugly. Right now she's currently minus 1,200.
Yeah, there you go. 12-1.
Yeah, and the other girl is plus 675. But I feel like I don't know if there's value in that one. I would probably stay away from that fight. Yeah. Well, Crack, before we wrap up here, I want to remind everyone again to head over to WSN.com and get all of the great information that they have over there. It's kind of what I call the sports betting Bible, and as well as the Exacta with the Crack Wins app. And we've talked about how hot you are with basketball and with baseball gearing up and golf and everything. You guys should head over. It's on Apple, it's on Google, or you can just go to crackwins.com as well. Crack, this flew by today.
Yeah, it did. I knew we had a lot of stuff to talk about. So yes, you're right. That Exacta or parlay of WSN.com and crackwins.com and the Crack Wins app. Fantastic. Check it out, guys. And appreciate you guys watching, and just be sure to like and follow us. Thanks.
That's right. All right, guys. Until next week. And next week we're gonna do a big March Madness show, right? We're gonna break down March Madness for everybody.
Yeah, we'll get into that the next two podcasts for sure.
Okay. All right, folks. We'll see you next time on Wise Kracks.